Hi, welcome to episode 26. We are the Yarn Hellions. My name is Sarah Flynn. I dye and own Super Fine Yarn Company. This is Christine Parker. Christine Parker Co., designer of all things knitted and otherwise.
Yeah.
So we are doing Flash or Stash part 2 because we got so many responses. I was so happy.
Oh my God.
I felt very unorganized compared to a lot of people. Like sort by weight and all sorts of things. So I am very impressed.
It was like all across the spectrum of
I want to get better to
disorganized to
done. Ripley's trying to make her escape.
I know. Okay.
You can push her down. Just gotta check this all out. Yeah. So I don't think we have tons of news. I wanted to say thank you to everyone who came to Wild and Woolly. All of the vendors did really well. There was a great turnout. Thank you to the organizers. I had a really, really good day. So I had podcast fans stop by and say hello. I had one woman and her husband, and she's kind of looking at yarn, and he's like, I know you. I think I was talking to somebody else, and he's like, I know that voice. That voice has been on in the background. So it was really nice. I was like, oh my gosh.
That's so fun.
I know. So, so I remember like looking around like halfway through and like at the other vendors, and they were, we were busy for, hours where
that's awesome.
It was just great. So thank you so much. I'm happy that like a local show can do so well. And, so I have some goodies to share a little bit later that I got there.
I am excited to see what you got. I have not really any news. I saw Jesus Christ Superstar at Playhouse Square. Yeah, that was really fun. I think it's in Cleveland for another week or two. And if you have the chance, you should totally go because it's really good. And I will tell you, if you buy the tickets, like the literally last seat all the way at the top, they're only $10. And you get your very own chair. It's not like a theater chair. And so you can like move it around, and there's tons of leg room. There's a lot of stairs to get up, because it's like way at the tippy top. But tons of leg room, cheap. You can see everything. The view is great, but it's far away, so you don't really get the details. So I bought some like little binoculars to take next time. So that was really fun. That's one of my favorite musicals. And the other thing is I bought a photo printer, and have you ever heard of the Silhouette Cameo?
No.
Do you know what a Cricut cutter is?
do.
Okay, so it's like the Cricut cutter where it'll like it looks like a printer, but it'll cut up. It's got like a blade in it, and it'll cut like paper and fabric and felt and that kind of thing. And I wanted that because I want to make my own vinyl stickers. I want to make these, but I have the laser cutter, the Glowforge, but it can't cut vinyl because something in the vinyl, like the plastic, it creates chemical gas or chlorine gas, which will erode the machine and also kill you.
Wow.
So I'm not cutting vinyl in my Glowforge, but now I have the cutter with the like physical blade, so there's no like chemical reaction making poisonous gas. So I will have stickers to make soon. I'm pretty excited about that. That's my news. That's everything.
Have you used it?
No, it's not even out of the box yet.
Okay.
It just came yesterday. But yeah, I really want to. I've been wanting to make planner stickers, like sheets of, like smaller stickers, to like use in your planner or whatever. And I've been trying to find a source for that will make affordable sheets, and there's tons of places that will do sheets, but they're like the weatherproof vinyl, so they're not cost effective. Like you don't need it
for a planner.
Exactly, you don't need that kind of durability. So I haven't been able to make them yet, but now I will when I figure out my machines.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Can you please show me some yarn from the sheep sack?
Sure.
Where is the sheep sack?
I have it, and of course it's not here. I pulled it up.
Sure,
it's at home. So at Wild and Woolly, when things quieted down a little bit, I went around and did some shopping. So it was like River Colors was kind of like catty corner, like up in front of me, and they had this display of these, and I was staring at these the whole time. So my aunt's birthday is next month, so if you're watching, don't for a few minutes. Look at this.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
This is the cutest thing ever, and it's like gradient. So they had them in tons of different colors.
This was from
River Color Studio. Okay. Yeah. So I hadn't even... Oh, it's Zauber Perlin by Schoppel.
Cool.
Jenkins
That's like a... Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. She was not settling down.
She hated me the first time we did an episode together, and now she's like, I want to get in your lap because you brought snacks for me.
You should be tired. So there's that, and it's like a little stretchy, like it's on like a little stretchy thing.
You could wear it. No, I won't try to put like a Shakespearean ruff. If we could get it, no. And
then she likes blues and greens. So I know
your aunt or the dog.
My aunt, okay. Yes, of course. Ripley does too. She prefers blues and greens. So this is created for you by Laura, and she's been at some of the other shows. And this is her Knobbly Stash, which is 85% merino, 15% Donegal neb, sea foam.
It's like a tweed.
Yeah,
tweed yarn. That's cool.
So.
Is Laura from Ohio?
She is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So we'll tag her.
And River Colors is
the yarn shop that's in Lakewood.
Yeah, okay. Yep, so it's a local Cleveland shop.
Yep. So a few shops had just making sure. And
quality
then
inspection.
A Rose is a Rose. She actually Rosie Posey Designs. This is her little yarn bag.
That's so cute.
I know.
With the leather handles.
I know.
Show on the inside the grommets.
I know, the little like flower grommet.
That's so cute.
They are so cute, and I don't know that I could have my yarn in this because someone would get into it. But for my aunt, you could just like be working on something and have it on your couch and licking it. Quality control.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was on my. Oh, I have one more, and this is for me. Because I snuck back to say hello to Allegheny Fibers because she was next to me in Yellow Springs at the wool gathering. And I got this for me. It's a Baby Yoda project bag. So, and it has little polka dots and a little separator inside if you're doing socks or if you're doing two skeins, which is super cute. And then her larger size, I was going between this and the larger size. The larger size has a zipper for the divider, which is really nice. So happy.
That's super cute.
Yeah. And then I realized I have another Star Wars one that has little Baby Yodas like scattered in with other characters, but sorry.
You can't have too much Baby Yoda stuff.
So those are my newest purchases.
And you had a special colorway.
I did. I sold a few of them, and I have two more. So this is an alpaca silk blend. It's not as fluffy as the other blend that I have. It's a little bit of fluff on it. And it's this nice pastel. Christine can tell you it's soft.
So soft.
So this isn't on the website because it's not a base that I'm going to keep carrying. So if you want one of these, DM me and I will send you an invoice for it because they need a good home.
They do. It's real pretty and it's really soft.
It is lace weight, but I was gonna say the same thing as with anything else. You can just hold it along with whatever weight you like, and I'll just give it a little bit of extra color and fluff.
Could even if you bought both, you could hold them together
for fingering weight. Yeah,
that would give you 874 yards of fingering weight yarn. That would make. I mean, that's a whole shawl. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, so I would love for these to find a good home. But really, thanks for everyone who showed up. It was such a nice day. You lug everything in the snow and set up and think, oh man, this could be a slow. You just never know with the weather. But it was such a nice turnout.
Good.
You want to do stash organization?
Shall we jump into stash?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Let's do, so we each like made notes about our stash. So you want to talk about your stash, I'll talk about mine, and then we can start, like, we got so many comments. So like last night I went through and divided everything. I've got like ideas for like needle and notion storage, and then like how people are displaying the actual stash, like your yarn, and then you know, there's just so much. There's so much to go through. So yeah, let's do that. And then we have the giveaway too. That we have the yarn from Black Cat Fibers.
I think it's Misfit.
Oh shit. Misfit Yarns. I'm sorry, it's Misfit Yarns. And then the pins from Expression Fiber Arts. Why did I think it was Black Cat Yarns?
Maybe because it looks like it's.
Well, we love both, so I don't know. They're both in my brain.
All right. So, my stash really isn't very well organized. This is good for me. I need to kind of tackle my closet and clothes as well as the stash situation.
Oh, yes.
So, it's all just in there right now. So right now I have bins. I have like purple bins that are pretty decent size. I've got 2 or 3 of those with yarn that I'd had been collecting before I started dyeing. And then some of it, like extra stuff, I had donated to the library knitting group because I just had too much.
Yeah.
And I was dyeing so much that I didn't need anymore. So bins for that. I don't display them. You know, I should think about that. So it was nice to hear about like the different ways to display it.
Mm-hmm.
And then needle organization, I'm okay because the circular kits come in like, you know, like the nice like organized kind of things. And then the hard thing is like to keep all the different ones like all together. So I have like a bigger bag. I try and keep them all in.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at when I finish a project, instead of putting it back in a nice little like slot it's supposed to be in, I just toss it in that bag. So then every 6 to 8 whatever months I have to go in and like put everything back away. So if I just did it the right way the first time, it would be better. And then I do have a nice thing, which Mariah said she does too, which is, where'd I put it? I have the big vase. Oh, yeah, there's a big vase over there, and it has like my little scrappy extra balls, so I display them nicely that way. So I have that going.
Shoot me a picture of that.
Okay, I will, because that's actually...
Or I can take one while I'm here. Yeah.
the nicest thing I have going. So I'm glad to hear what everyone's doing. How about you?
Okay. So I have all my stash. I have it in, we took the doors off the closet in my office because they were like they were sliding doors. And I was like, these are just in my way. So we took them off and put like big shelving in the closet. And the shelves, like the closet's deep enough that I can put like pretty big plastic totes. They're clear so that I can see what's in them. And then I have all my yarn divided by weight, first by weight, and then by like fiber. So I have like all my sock and fingering yarn together, and I have all of my like wool blend worsted weight together, and I have all my cottons together. And then in the basement I have that's where all the budget acrylic is. It's a huge tub. Like you could fit a body in this tub. It's so big, and it's just full of, you know, like blanket quantities of acrylic yarn. And really I should probably donate it because I almost never use that stuff. And then but I really there were so many good ideas for how people are displaying it. Like we'll get into it, but I'm so inspired. I want to like get a special cabinet, you know, to like put my yarn in my living room so I can look at it.
I know.
Because it's so pretty and it's colorful, and you know, I would like to look at it. So my needles, this is like a perpetual problem for me for the same reason that you say, because like I have multiple sets of interchangeable tips because I lose them. Where do they go even? You know, they're not even in projects. They're, you know, they like fall between the couch cushions, and you know, it's like when you lose a sock in the dryer. where does it go? And I do the same thing where I don't ever put them away. I just dump them. In. Yeah. So at least they're here, but I still, like, it's a pain in the ass. I can never find them. I'm pretty good about dividing. I have this one's empty because I don't ever put anything away.
No, that's smart. I don't do that.
My cords I have in Ziploc baggies with the length on them, which would be great if I ever put the cords away when I'm done using them. So these are all in there, and I have a set of, like, these are the short tips for hats. So, like, it's all in here. I've got, like, my favorite fixed circulars are in here, too. But it's just, I don't know. It's just like a jumble. Do you want to smell it?
Make sure it's okay.
It's just a jumble. And, like, you know, I have to fold everything down to get it to zip. Because if I don't zip it, then the tips all fall out. Yeah. I need a bigger thing. But I'm like, I don't want to sew one. So if any of you sew or know someone who sells stuff like this, I would be very interested. Or if you have just better ideas for something like this. I do love that it's clear. Clear is good.
I saw someone who did like little tiny plastic drawers. Like the drawers are like this wide, and then they did like the needles in that. So like the whole thing was maybe like this big, and then each drawer had a different. It was cool. So I'll see if I can find a picture of that.
Yeah, that's like hardware storage for almost, like your yeah. I have all my like stitch marker pieces and parts and something like that. And then for notions, I try to have little bags of like scissors, measuring tape, and you know, my little notions. My little stitch marker tins. Oh. And chapstick because... And I, like, the dream is to have one of these in every project bag, but I don't have enough of them. So I think I have 2 or 3, and I can never find one. So I just steal one from the next bag.
And so then you need it in the other bag when you go back to it. Yeah. No, I do this one.
So it's a problem.
My aunt had made me those from before, but then I kind of poached out of some of them. So of course they're not like as organized. I need scissors. Like, let me grab them out of there.
It's such a great idea, but like it's hard to maintain. And then I think on your, maybe was it your notes? You said, how do you organize your works in progress?
I don't. I have started corralling them all together. I have a big, just a cheap kind of duffel bag that I was using to take like samples to shows. And I was looking at all my bags scattered around, and I'm like, I just put them all in the duffel bag just so I could have them all in one place. But I need a better thing for that. I almost, some people use those like rolling like carts for beside the couch kind of, but there's some projects that are kind of old. I don't know. Maybe keep the new ones on top. I don't know. I need something more than just they're scattered. But I like to have one at work. I like to have one in the car, so I want to still do that. Yeah. But then they should be kind of corralled.
I know, it's hard. I have mine tend to get scattered everywhere too. Like I'll keep a small one in my purse, and then, like sometimes I'll look down, like if I'm sitting on the couch, I'll look down and I'm like, wait a minute, there's like 5 active projects like within arm's reach from the couch, because you don't know if are you going to feel like knitting a hat or like crocheting a big heavy blanket or I don't know, working on a sweater. Like we've talked about this before, I like to bounce around. And then I do have like my less active, like my hibernating projects in a clear tub in my office. So though that I'll just toss the project bag in there and then not touch it for 2 years. But at least I know where it is. One of the things I wanted to mention that was really great for me at the beginning was I used to store my whips in 2-gallon Ziploc bags. Cause they're bigger than like 1 gallon. You could probably get like a hat or a pair of socks in there, but for like bigger stuff, I like the 2-gallon. Cause they're clear, you can see what's in them, but they're not very pretty. So then I started getting like cool project bags. which are pretty to look at, but I can't see what's in them. I don't know I can never remember what is in this.
And then I do the dumb thing of switching projects to different bags. Sometimes if it like outgrows a bag, so then I think what's in the bag isn't what's in the bag. Not smart. I need more bigger sweater quantity, like bags.
Yeah. Oh.
Sorry.
You scared me.
Girl, so tough.
Yeah, it's a struggle. This whole thing. I feel like there's probably not like one right, correct, good way to handle it. It's
just what works for you.
Yeah, you have to find a system that works for you. So let's talk about
I want to see what
everybody's ideas and comments and the ways that you store your stuff. So I copied a bunch of people's comments last night. So let's talk about needle storage and organization. So Macchiato Jen on Instagram says that she keeps all her notions in a vintage sewing box that has legs on it she inherited from her husband's grandma. And I think that's nice. So cool. Vicky N keeps her I'm going to say they. I'm going to practice my they because I don't know what pronouns you guys use. I'm calling everybody's being a they today. Everyone's a they. Vicky N says that they keep their single circular needles in snap cases for like film negatives. And I was like, oh my God, that's so brilliant. So 6 negative cases come inside a plastic box. And then there's a case for each size. I think
kind of like what I was saying, like each one.
That's really cool. Kendra M keeps their fixed circulars in plastic zipper pages in a 3-ring binder. I've heard of multiple people doing that, which is really smart. So then you can just flip through to get what you need. And if it's got a zipper, it's not going to fall out and fly around. Diane G said, I made a bag for all of my needles and knitting tools, and it's got slots for the DPNs. And so there's room for all of their needle sets. And they also put grommets in it and notebook rings to hold the progress keepers.
That's super organized.
Yeah, so smart. And then the last one that I have for the needle storage and organization was Stephanie N said, I found that pencil boxes from Walmart, which are less than $2, make for great needle storage. I only use circulars or DPNs and they fit perfectly in those boxes. Like I'm thinking like those like plastic, in elementary school, you keep your pencils and your markers and whatever. Like that's really smart too. And then they would stack too, which is nice. You guys are so smart. So much better organized than me. I have this, which is really, I mean, it's sort of organized, but then I have like all my other needle sets and all my like extra notions and my tape measures or whatever. They're in just like a 12 by 12 like fabric bin that goes in one of those square cubbies, and it's just everything's just dumped in there, so it's really a pain in the ass to find anything when I need it. So I need to do something better about that. And then so let's talk about yarn, like the actual yarn stash, what you guys are doing with that. So it seemed like a lot of people use the square cubby like shelving units. Those are nice too, because those are like you can see everything you have if it's if it's out and it's visible. And then a lot of people are also using like a dedicated cabinet or a hutch that has glass doors. So, same thing, so you can see it, but then like the glass doors protect it a little bit better. And I will say, many people were like, yeah, my stash is everywhere. It's not organized. It's just wherever it'll fit. So yeah, we get it, you guys. You're not the only one. It seemed like people who did organize, like, and, sort their yarn, a lot of people were sorting by weight. And then some people were sorting by color too, which I really want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sort by color, and then they would like put it in their display cases to like, you know, so you can look at it. That'd be really fun, like a yarn. I've seen like knitting bloggers and whatever, like Instagram influencers, they'll have like the cubbies, a cubby shelf, and then like everything's divided by color, and it's like a rainbow. I'm like, ooh, that's pretty. But how do you find anything?
Books, but yeah,
yeah.
With yarn.
Do you want to read some of the comments?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Louise H uses Ravelry to catalog their yarn stash, which is really cool. And I did once upon a time, but then fell off.
It's a lot to maintain.
And Ravelry too. Like someone messaged me, I hate to say, like it maybe in December, and said they were trying to put up. It was one of the newer bases, maybe Alpaca. I don't know what, and it wasn't on there yet, so I'm sorry. I said, it's on my list, but I haven't done it yet. So it's hard for dyers too. Jenny C, I have all my sock yarn in a dresser, but all the rest of my yarn is all over the place, and I can't remember what I even own. That's true. You like come across like a pocket of yarn that you didn't know existed.
You're like, and that's like Christmas almost, or you know, like a hug. It's your birthday, like. Oh, I forgot I had this. Like, I'm going to make something with it.
Cash in your coat pocket. I
think the next one is, I don't think I typed it right, but I believe it's Lucinda.
Yeah. Lucinda K. My stash is minimal. Unfortunately, I get overwhelmed when I have too much yarn. I store my yarn in a closet in 4 clear plastic bins. I have just enough so that I'm a few projects out. Okay, that is... smart.
I'm impressed.
I think that's probably in the minority of people who are like that, like can plan that well and keep the stash under control. I think most people would say the stash is like a little too out of control. Yeah. So that's really, really smart.
I was impressed by the planning. like, you know
what's coming
what you're gonna knit next, and you have the yarn for it, and like, because I am so impulsive that I can't, like, I'll make a plan but I don't ever stick to it. Yeah.
Or you'll look at your queue and be like, oh, yeah, I put all of those in there in, like, 2016 and never looked at them again.
Do I still want to even make this?
I know. I go through and like, well, no. Mary says, my stash is stored in a tall cupboard bookshelf with the doors off and using shelves to show off my yarn. It has drawers for my needles, and the bottom has doors for my books and the other yarny items, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
to have, like...
one dedicated piece of furniture. That's so smart.
Yeah. That's the dream, I feel like, is...
I don't have... I mean, I'd have to, like, go to, like, a... antique store or something to, like, get something, you know? Because I don't have the right thing for it.
Yeah, you definitely... Right, yeah, if you don't have something like that. Like, I'm thinking, like, a...
estate sale.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like a hutch, like a wooden hutch where it's, like, the cupboards and shelving on the bottom, and then... like display
like
with
the China
glass.
cabinet part you put the yarn in. It's super, super smart. Queen's Crafts. I keep my hand dyed animal and eco fiber yarns in an antique legal library with nice glass doors that let me see the stash but protect it from dust and animals. And each shelf is a different weight. My acrylic yarns are in plastic tubs shoved in every closet and corner I can find. Laugh emoji.
So that's go ahead.
Same idea.
Yeah. Queen's Crafts is like a little bit of both, like the dedicated, like super organized, dedicated, you know, cabinet, and then, but also like secret caches of stash, hidden places.
Mariah says, most of my stash lives in a cabinet in our finished attic, 1 cabinet of budget yarn, and the remaining cabinets are organized by weight. I also have 4 clear glass cookie jars that are filled with partial cakes. That's really cute.
Yeah.
Then my project bags are filled with scraps, and I have a coffee table full of skeins that haven't made their way up to the attic. None of my yarn is displayed because my cats will chew through the strands. They can't be trusted even for a quick trip to the bathroom. My notions are mostly strewn throughout my project bags and a few drawers and my coffee table. This podcast has inspired me to spend more time organizing my stash of tools and notions in particular.
And then she left another And then they left another comment like a couple days after that they were like, yeah, I was inspired to organize my notions and I did it.
Nice.
And I believe they said that they put it in like organized in the drawers of the coffee table, which is smart too. Like if you have a coffee table that has storage in it, to keep your knitting stuff in there, because where do you normally knit in your house?
Easily.
Yeah.
Kendra says my yarn storage is organized in 2 ways. I have stacking wire cubes that is sorted by yarn weight. Then I have some wire drawers that have projects in a bag with the pattern that are in my serious queue. So
that made me laugh. Serious queue, as opposed to like you're
just like
yeah,
maybe. I keep clicking this.
Where were we?
Maryland.
Yeah.
I have my stash in our spare bedroom in square cubicles. I have it sorted by weight. I like to go in there and look and feel the skeins as if I'm in a store shopping. I think that's like the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Like, can I see everything that I have that I, my like precious ones that I can decide? Because I think it just, once it's in a tub, like it's like gone.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard. Even in like the clear tubs, it's hard to remember what all I have. Just making sure we're still recording.
Melissa L says, I love you ladies. I used to keep my stash in bins, but I recently bought an old china cabinet on OfferUp. It has glass doors at the top and solid doors on the bottom half where I hide all my notions and scraps and things not so pretty. Behind the glass doors, I have yarn on display. One shelf is sweater quantities. One shelf is single skeins without plans. And a basket of minis, and the top shelf is yarn I have plans for, like shawls or whatever. This way, when I feel like a single skein project, I have a bunch that... Can't read. I have a bunch of that too. I really think it's good to be able to see your stash instead of hiding it. That way I can look at everything and feel guilty and not buy more. Another thing I hadn't thought of, if it's all out there, you're like, whoa.
You can't, you're like not in denial if it's right in front of your face.
Nail and Knit, my stash are in bins separated currently by holiday. Oh my gosh. I know this sounds weird, but I wanted to make a garment for each holiday, so I have holiday stashed yarn.
That is so smart and cute.
Oh my gosh. I feel like and we said this before when we did like the holiday patterns, like I need to do more holiday knitting, but I have to do it far enough out that I will get it done.
Yeah, I know.
Then there's always something.
I never feel like I'm like, I don't want to knit a Christmas tree skirt in June.
Right.
Like I don't feel Christmassy.
But then on November 20th, it's too late.
Damn it.
Dawn Nutter says, my stash, a source of great debate in my house. I have a tall shelf for what I want to look at or am currently using. I also have storage bins and a couple hidden stashes around the house. In my defense, I have plans for all of the yarn.
Plans is in quotes.
Nice. I feel like I definitely don't have plans. What I need to do is like lay everything out, or like my like special one, lay them out and kind of go through my queue and like, or just go through Ravelry and pick out some, because I don't really have anything like matched like that. Yeah, which would be smart.
Typically, if I'm like, was that?
Oh, she's fine.
Making you mad? I'm sorry. If I'm like, I find a pattern, I'm like, I want to make this. I almost always just buy the yarn for it. Yeah, I have a hard time knitting out of my stash. Unless it's like a true scrappy project. Poop. I meant to bring my,
I saw a picture of it.
Yeah, my granny shawl. I shared it in the last episode, but I finished up that cake that my friend made me, and then I made my own magic scrappy cake. So I meant to bring it.
Making it?
So easy. Okay. Yeah, it was surprisingly easy. Why are you licking me?
Hey, don't need to do that.
I mean, it's okay. I don't mind, but are my hands salty? What's going on?
Something's good. And then Diane G says, I have some skeins which I have hung using command adhesive strips, which I think is super cute to hang them on the wall.
Yeah, like it's art. I'm just like,
you're fine. I just don't want her bothering you.
Oh, it's not. I like doggy kisses. Dottie, Grandma Dottie loves to give kisses, but her breath is like really bad. So then your face smells like her mouth. So that so many good comments about how your stash is stored and organized and displayed, and I'm just super inspired, and I'm excited to now I want to go home and
Me too.
redo my whole stash.
You go ahead. The next
okay. So that being said, a lot of people were also like totally overwhelmed by the amount of yarn they have and all of their stash, and it's scattered everywhere and it's not organized. So we do have some people left a couple of ideas for that. So Tracy T says that they're trying to use up stash, but I accidentally started a cozy memory blanket and now I need all of the minis. And they also added that they keep accidentally buying more yarn, and I feel that very deep in my soul.
It just happens.
It's just, yeah, I had plans. I was going to knit out of my stash, but I bought this by accident. Mariah Z said, those super special skeins that we have a hard time actually knitting up, it's because they're too pretty to us. And a lot of people call those their unicorn yarn, their unicorn skeins. And and then they added, FYI, a group of unicorns is called a blessing. So that means that all of your unicorn skeins are a blessing. And then there's a bunch of emojis after that.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
And the last one was Alexandria W said, you should do a knit along featuring one skein patterns. Help us use up our stash. Well, friends, we are going to do exactly that. In the next episode, we're gonna do a knit along. The next episode, we're gonna lay out all the rules. We'll give you the hashtag and the dates and the deadlines, and we'll give you a bunch of one skein pattern recommendations so you have some ideas. And then the following episode, we'll all cast on together during the episode, and it'll be really fun. And we can use up at least one skein of stash yarn. I'm excited. I love one skein patterns. So tune into that. That'll be episodes 27 will give you the rules, episode 27, and then episode 28, which, assuming there's no disasters, should air on Friday, March 28th. That's the day we'll cast on. So, good idea, Alexandria W. Thank you for that. The end. So that's our stash, Flash Your Stash Part 2. What are you doing?
Trying to get underneath it, but it's not blanket size, so she's not happy with how this is all turned out. But there we go.
Have you seen, there's, my feet are always freezing in my bed in my winter. Right now. Yeah. So they make these, it's like a heating pad, but it's like a pocket. So you can like, if you're that size, you could climb inside of it.
Fold my heating pad over.
Yes.
And put my feet in the little, I do that already.
They make dedicated like feet warmers.
Oh, that's smart.
I know. So yeah, that's an option for her or you. So cute. Do you have any whips you want to share?
At Wild and Woolly, I'm still working on my enormous. My words are just not coming to me today. Wholesale order, so there has not been a lot of free time, so that'll be done the next 3-4 weeks, so then I'll have more knitting time. But at Wild and Woolly, I had a little bit of quiet time near the end of the show, and I was working on my retro whirl hat.
Yay!
So I'm almost up to the decreases, but it's
cool.
looking pretty nice.
I love
but
that.
I can
yarn.
wear the set because I already
go.
have the caliban. So, and then I have socks that are at work that I was kind of chipping away at, but forgot.
I
Oh my god!
started another baby blanket for my second nibbling that is coming in April. I got last week or the week before, I got the baby shower invitation. I was like, oh shit, like
It's
I need
time.
to hurry. Yeah, so this is the Tessellation Baby Blanket by Meg Croft Designs. And it's like, it's so easy. It's mostly garter stitch, but then on the wrong side, you do some purl stitches to make these like the stockinette stitch triangles. It's pretty easy. It's easy and it's simple, but I wouldn't call it like mindless exactly.
Because you have to still pay attention.
Yeah, it's a 28 row repeat of stitch pattern. So like every of the 28 rows, you're knitting on the right side, but then like I said, on the wrong side, you're doing the purl stitches, and every row is different. So I yesterday I was trying to make a reel, like just a stupid time lapse reel, like, oh, sit and knit with me or whatever. And I fucked up like 7 rows but I got my reel and it looks great. So I'm using Barocco vintage yarn, which I talked about in the last episode. It's one of my favorite, like, inexpensive acrylic and wool blends. It's like $9 a skein. This I just finished this morning, the first skein. This is a whole skein of yarn. And I have until March 6th to finish and get it to my sister-in-law. And then the baby's coming in at the end of April. Oh, so excited. So that's that. I've been just like, you know, everything else gets put on hold when you have to make an emergency baby blanket. That's all I have for knitting, which is the baby blanket and then the granny shawl that I forgot to bring. I'll bring that next time.
Should we pick somebody for the giveaway?
Oh, yeah, the giveaway. I meant to ask you if we wanted to do that before the episode.
Yes, well, we can do it now.
Okay.
We just wanna. What do you want to do?
Oh God,
because it's 2 different places.
Yeah, so some of the comments I like incorporated from Instagram. There were only 2.
Oh, okay. So you just want to pick out of these?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Do you want to do a random number generator, or you want to just close your eyes and point?
I'm just gonna close my eyes and point. Stephanie N.
Oh my gosh.
Stephanie N, who with the pencil boxes from Walmart for needle storage. Thank you for that comment. We will get in touch and send you your prize, which is the skein of Misfit yarns, not Black Cat fibers, and then the little pins. Do you not like Misfit yarns? What's wrong?
Like people walking in her hallway.
And then the pins from Expression Fiber Arts. We will send a comment to you on YouTube. But if you see this episode, you can DM us anywhere or email us or whatever, and we'll get your shipping information. Okay, thanks, Stephanie. Books?
Yes, I have some good ones.
Okay, tell me.
Oh my gosh. So, getting my pictures. Oh my gosh.
I just realized I didn't get any of my pictures.
Oh, well.
I always forget.
So I finished this a little while ago and then kind of forgot about it. Station 11 by Emily St. John Mendel. I watched the show on HBO, and I had read this years ago when it came out for a book club, and went back and read it again. It's really good. It's post-apocalyptic. There's a virus that hits the United States, that hits the world, and I think maybe 1% of the population survives.
Oh my!
It's very contagious. And has a
Sounds
short
familiar.
It's like, it's terrifying because it's, you know, the way things could go. So it starts in Chicago, and there's a lot of things like intertwine and people that intertwine between when it's like the night when you first start hearing about the flu, and then to the present day, which there's like not civilization. There's kind of different little towns and camps, and this is around I think Lake Michigan.
Okay.
So they do like it follows a troupe of Shakespearean actors, and they go from town to town and perform, and it's like the only form of entertainment. There's no electricity, there's no gas, there's no technology at all. So they go town to town and perform. So they have like makeshift little costumes and things like that. Like horse-drawn. Actually, they have some vans, but they're horse-drawn because there's no gas. So it's really interesting. Like there's like the people from the before time who remember the main girl. She was a girl when the pandemic hit. So she vaguely remembers some things. And then there's younger, like she's like maybe like 16, 18 at the time of the book later. And she wants to she has her explain like cell phones, like how you can find every play on this one, like explain it to me again. It's just so crazy. So Anyway, I feel like I'm not doing it justice. The show on HBO is absolutely wonderfully done. It's just stunning and touching, and there's some like a little bit of darker elements to it too. So look at content warnings if that's an issue for you. But I just found it, it's almost like in this world later, there's like this little bit of like beauty that they can bring to these towns where times are really, really tough.
Yeah.
So it's great.
I believe this was written pre COVID pandemic.
Yeah.
So what was it like reading it from the perspective of a person who's lived through a pandemic situation?
It could have been so much worse. Yeah. That this spread so much faster. It was so much deadlier. And it was just over. And the same thing, like you didn't really think it was ever, you kind of hear like in the background, like in the show, like somebody's sister works in an ER and she's like get out of town. And then there's like something, like on the news thing, oh, there's this flu in Europe, and they don't take it very seriously. And then it's over.
Yeah.
It's so fast. So it does make you appreciate like, well, we're, getting through this, and it didn't decimate the human race.
Yeah.
Wow. It's scary in that regard. That there's nothing left.
There's a podcast that I really love called Side Door, and it's done through the Smithsonian. And the premise of this podcast is it's like the hidden stuff like in their collection that you don't ever see. So the Smithsonian is huge. It's like 12 museums or something. It's like a whole bunch. So covering all different topics. And so they have obviously like this huge collection that they can't display. So this podcast like tells you about it, and then, you can go and get the show notes and there's pictures and whatever. So one of the earlier episodes is about, it was from, I think they recorded it in 2019, and it was about the 1918 Spanish flu epidemic. And I keep trying to listen to that episode, and I'm like, I can't. Like it's in 2019 when we were just blissfully ignorant of the future and like had no idea what was coming. I'm like, I just can't. I don't know. I'm not ready for pandemic fiction yet.
So that's very understandable. So I actually put her other, I think she has one coming out later this year, and then I put 3 or 4 of her others on hold because I really want to read them. Yeah.
Good author. I know I've had that book on my list. I do want to read it at some point. But I don't know if I can do it. So I don't know what I want to talk about. I've been working through the Book Riot Read Harder challenge. And right now I've got, out of the 24 prompts, I have 10 completed already. So I'm like 42%. But I'm having trouble with prompt number 15, which is read a new to you literary magazine. And I'm like,
there's not many anymore.
Yeah. How do I used to know how to, back when I was doing my BA in creative writing, I had submitted some of my work to a couple of literary magazines and got rejected, of course. But so like I knew how to like search databases and like find these things, but now I can't remember how to find them. I don't have any idea like what is even out there. So if anybody has any suggestions for a literary magazine, ideally free or available through the library, but if there's something else that you really like that I have to pay a couple bucks to read it, that would be fine. So let me know if you have any ideas. One of the prompts, I didn't write down which one, but one of them was read a queer retelling of a fairy tale or folk tale. So I recently read a Spindle Splintered by Alix Harrow. And I'm pretty sure I've talked about her books on here before. The space. No, that you're thinking of
Harrow too, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's the book name, the second book, isn't it? Has something Harrow, or was the character?
The character is Harrow. Yeah. That was Gideon the Ninth.
Sorry. Okay,
yes.
yeah.
Okay. So this author, Alix E. Harrow, she wrote, I'm pretty sure I talked about this in an episode, but The Once and Future Witches, where it's like,
Right.
it's a witchcraft book, and they like, I don't know, it's set in like modern, it's like an alternate history, as if Salem, Massachusetts was like, there were more witches around the turn of the century, and I don't know. But anyway, she's awesome. Her works are really good. So A Spindle Splintered is a modern queer retelling of the Sleeping Beauty story. So this was so fun. It was like, it's a novella. It's like 120 pages. I read it in like 2 days, and her writing is so good and so beautiful, and the characters are fun, and it's like, the character is a young woman who she my brain's tired, guys. This always happens. The character is a young woman who she's got like oh my God, why can't I think of it? She's going to die. She's got an illness, and it's going to kill her. Terminal illness. And so she's like biding her time till her 21st birthday. And on her 21st birthday, her friend, who knows that she's obsessed with Sleeping Beauty, is like, I'm going to make you the coolest 21st birthday party ever. And they like have a Sleeping Beauty themed party in a tower, like an abandoned tower in their neighborhood. Oh, it's set in Ohio too, which is really cool. It's like outside of Columbus. So on her 21st birthday, her friend like finds this like antique spinning wheel, and you know, at the stroke of midnight, the character whose name I can't remember is like, I'm gonna prick my finger on this old timey spindle, and you know, as a joke. And well, guess what happens? She tumbles into an alternate reality. So then it's like she's like in this fairy tale world and has to figure out how to get home, and it's lovely and funny and joyful, and there's lesbians, and it's fun. And you should read it. That's all I got. I have other books, but I won't be able to explain them. So you tell me about
Oh
books.
gosh, I've got 2 more. I was listening to Fated Mates and trying to get new to me romance recommendations. And I think this was on an older one, which was Ava Lee, Dare to Love a Duke. And this was really good. She, I think she's Italian. She came to London as a child and kind of had a tough upbringing, is working in like a sex club as like the proprietress pretty much. And she feels really responsible for everyone who works there. So cooks, servers, guards, you know, she's responsible for like 25 people's livings. So she's very like focused on the business, you know. And then the guy is like a duke, and he's a little different. He's his mom is Irish. So he comes in, and of course he sees her in the corner, and there's all sorts of stuff happening everywhere, and he just has eyes for her.
Of course.
And so I don't want to give too much away, but very just like kind of everything you want. And I did this on audio, and the voice was really good and good with his like accent and stuff. So I really like that.
Her dress is beautiful.
I know. Like, come on. How do you not like? So there was a lot of really good, like, he was a younger duke. His dad had passed away, so he was getting almost blackmailed by there were like older guys in Parliament who were like, vote with us on this like slavery bill, vote with us on all of this stuff that his dad, you know, was not into workers' rights or any of this stuff, and he didn't want to vote that way. And his little sister was in love with one of the sons, and he was like, she can't marry him if you don't vote my way. And he's like crushed, and he doesn't want to hurt his sister. So there's a lot of like nice little like, extra storylines.
Do you know if it's a series?
It is.
I'm curious if the sister has.
I know. The London Underground.
Okay.
And then I loved, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And so just this had showed up on audio in my Libby. So I was so excited. I downloaded it, listened to it. I probably finished it in 4 or 5 days. Mm-hmm. And it overlaps. I think they all overlap in some way or another. So characters come in and out of these 3 books. Daisy Jones and the Six, mm-hmm. 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and Malibu Rising.
Wait, are they all the same author?
All the same author? Sorry. I talked about Evelyn Hugo the last.
Oh, okay. That's right. Okay, sorry.
No, sorry. So I've read all 3 now separately. And then, so there's a gossip magazine that's in all 3 that's kind of quoted sometimes. And then one of these characters was in Evelyn Hugo, and they kind of swap around, which is really cool. Like when you're like, oh, that's him. Mm-hmm. So I just loved this. It was about these siblings. There's 4 siblings, mm-hmm. And their dad was famous, and their upbringing in, I think they were teens in like the 60s, 70s, and then kind of adults in the 80s. Okay. So it goes from them kind of being born, their parents meeting, to like them being adults in the 80s and trying to like navigate life with like a famous father, finding their own happiness. Mm-hmm. Just a lovely story about family, sacrifice. I just can't say enough about it. It's just great.
The cover makes it look like cheerful, like it's got a happy ending.
It's like there's a lot of like family, like serious family drama that mm-hmm. happens. So I'd say it's more dramatic than it looks.
So it's not like a beach read.
It's not a rom-com beach read. It's a little more serious drama, like about like very serious like things happening in your life, how to overcome them, how to like start, or what do you want from your life when you're in your 20s, when maybe your parents have wanted other things for mm-hmm. you, like a lot of like life stuff, which is, and sibling interactions, mm-hmm. which they're really close, which I love too. And they're all surfers. They really enjoy surfing.
Cool.
They grew up on the beach, which I thought was unique too.
Jealous.
I know. So
cool.
Yeah.
Is that all you got for books?
That's all I got.
Okay. I have more, but like I said, I'm done. I'm tired. I'll talk about them next time, maybe. Or maybe I won't. I don't know. It's my podcast. I can do whatever I want. Well, I will say thank you for hanging out with us and for all of your awesome comments. A couple people said that you love us. We love you too. We're so happy that you're here. If you're new, this is your first episode, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, our YouTube channel. That helps us a lot. Check out our Instagram and our TikTok. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.